issues that you all face in communities. This is noise and inspection. I do want to ask, just we're going to talk to us about inspection. Another huge issue that you face in your communities. So the inspection of short-term rentals. How to do it effectively and why. Justin Ford, ladies and gentlemen, is one of our sponsors today. All right.
We told the clicker works now, so we're going to get started with the clicker and see if it works. The vacation rental home is currently the most dangerous segment of the travel industry. And some of you, that may be new information, but take a look at the statistics. We already know the home is the most dangerous place and where the most accidents happen. Take into effect now, you've got people who aren't familiar with a home, and now they're entering that home for the first time, showing up after they've got all the groceries, finally getting settled in at 10 o'clock at night. Their kids are down in the basement, they're up on the 3rd floor. We started this year with the first 2 deaths in a vacation rental and an Airbnb in San Diego when the tree fell on the house. The city knew the tree was dangerous, the neighbors knew the tree was dangerous, but the tree fell on the house and it killed the 2 occupants. And yesterday we had a 2-year-old drown in a vacation rental pool down in Florida, and it's happening a lot. Well, we can solve this and we can get ahead of this. The solutions are there. I'm going to go over some of that with you. But first, let's take a quick look at this 3-minute video that I put together.
They escaped with just seconds to spare. This is what a family woke up to early Sunday morning on vacation in North Thompson.
The beach house next to them on New River Road covered in flames. They woke up to vacationers who were staying at that home banging on their door. But the one thing that should have gotten them up did not. WECT's Anna Phillips talked with the family. Anna, how did the family know to get out of the house?
Well, Fran, Adolfo says her brother was staying in the unit where the fire is believed to have started.
The living room was already engulfed in flames, and he heard things crashing from the ceiling and from the walls. That's what woke him up. There was no fire alarm. There was no smoke alarm. None of that woke him up.
They lost everything: phones, IDs, credit cards, and money, medicine, clothes, and several cars.
Emotionally, it's been really taxing on all of us.
The family is now sounding their own alarm. They want answers for who is responsible for checking that smoke alarms are working properly in rental properties. They want to know if appropriate repairs.
Also tonight, a night of summer fun turned terrifying after a deck collapsed at the Jersey Shore. Good evening, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Jessica Cartalia. The collapse happened early this morning at a home in Sea Isle City. Matt Petrillo is in Sea Isle tonight, where he spoke to those who heard the collapse and rushed in to help. Matt?
Jess and Yuki, no one was killed in that collapse, but several people were injured. If you take a look behind me, you can see pieces of that deck still lays here on the ground.
We heard the nails creaking, we heard the wood splintering, and we heard boom. Well, I was kind of shocked. The whole deck was collapsed.
Today, so many vacationers staying by 77th Street in Sea Isle City walked by this home to get a glimpse of the deck that suddenly came crashing down.
That is
on vacation, especially tonight, a warning for parents who are taking their kids on vacation, especially if you choose a rental home over a hotel room.
Yeah, child safety advocates say sometimes those homes are not safe for children. Hidden dangers.
It's no secret that kids are curious, and that curiosity only increases when they enter a new environment like a rented vacation home with so many new items to explore.
The children move very fast.
With more parents opting for vacation rentals through popular housing apps, it's important to know if the home you're staying in is safe for your child. Cole says tip-over accidents are the most prevalent among small children.
A tip-over accident is when a child is either opening drawers to get clothes out of them, or maybe even using it to step up to get something on top of the dresser. They open a drawer too, and the unit is unstable and will tip over.
Get my gyro thing out. So here we are in the kid's bedroom, and the kid can just come right up here and pull on this thing, and this whole thing falls from about 6 feet up right down onto him. I don't like it. stop right there. I can play 6 hours of news media tape this year already that highlights accidents that are happening in vacation rentals around the country. I don't know who it was that came up and thought shabby chic and a vacation rental with those mirrors was a great idea. I'd like to talk to that person. I see it everywhere. I was just in Nashville and I was in over 30 vacation rental homes. Every one of them had a 100-pound mirror leaning up against the wall. And they're letting families come into these homes and accidents are happening. It's really important to understand that the most common accidents in vacation rentals are not from fires. And yet, that's where the focus has been until now. We're going to change that. I think this group in here is a good start with us working on doing that. This right here is what's happening in most cities and towns. Mayor, I'm sure this happened in your town. The mayor spoke with us earlier this morning. We've got the fire chief, we got the mayor, we got the code enforcement officer. I was a firefighter for 15 years. I was a training officer on my fire department. I will tell you, firefighters love to drive a big red truck as fast as they can and squirt water on the fire, but they are not trained in livability safety. I was never once trained on what size extension cord I should be connecting to an air conditioner to prevent it from catching on fire. I was never trained as a firefighter about deck collapses or how they should be put together. And yet what's happening in cities and towns across America is this is the guy, the fire chief, we're relying on. And that's great. And he's focused on what he knows, which is fire. And he shows up with NFPA 101. Who knows what NFPA 101 is? Just a couple people. Everyone in here in the vacation rental industry needs to know what that is. That's the building code. It's a national building code standards. But there's not one thing in National Building Code standards that addresses vacation rentals. I was just at their conference in June. They said, what are you doing here? I said, I'm with the vacation rental industry. They went, huh? What's a vacation rental guy doing here at the NFPA conference? National Fire Protection Association. They're not focused on it at all. Home inspections. So now, in most cities, counties, states, they're requiring a home inspection before a vacation rental. That's great, it's required. It's like putting the air in the tire of the car. You cannot move that car until you got air in the tires. But that's where we stop short. We're not doing safety inspections, which is the fuel in the car to make it go. And so we're just coasting down the road right now on full tires, no fuel, and bad things are happening. And we could solve this. Home inspections only cover pre-lived-in conditions, and that's really one thing I want you guys to take away today. They're covering what's done before the occupants move into the house, put their furniture in there, pull the grill out, plug in the air conditioner, and do all the things that are needed to do to make sure that the home is safe. They are required, they're needed, we need to do that, and what I'm talking about now is we need to go to the next level and get involved with safety inspections. City of New Braunfels, I'm just going to pick on them a little bit just because I know that they're close by here, and I thought this might be familiar with some of you. This is their life safety code. It's good. It says you need fire extinguishers, you got to have an escape area, smoke detectors, CO detectors. But it doesn't talk about the fact that CO detectors expire in 5 to 7 years and smoke detectors expire in 10 years. Not one city, county, or state in the United States is currently requiring that. And in most cases, they're saying you're okay, you've been inspected once, you're good. Who's making sure that they're checked? 30% of smoke detectors fail after 10 years. Let's take a couple look at the houses that are down there. Look at this grill, it's underneath the porch. We know that grill fires happen when they're underneath an enclosure. It happens all the time. Vacation rental right here this year, these two last year. Grill fires, huge. This is another vacation rental down there. You can see clearly in the advertising photos, there's no smoke detector, and there's one little egress window right there where people are going to get out if they wake up to the fire and not smoke after they move that table aside. Another one down here. We got a nice railing facing the lake, but what about the sides? So the kid can go down the stairs and just fall off the side and roll right down into the river. I hear the tubing is good. This rental right here, where's the railings? My friend Darren here from Proper Insurance, I know he's going to be up here later. The I'll tell you, the #1 insurance claims that they're getting right now for accidents and vacation rentals are because there's no handrails. This is just down the road. Right here, I'm going to pick on Austin for a second. Where's my Austin people? Get over to this house right here as soon as you can. That's the master bedroom. We're going to escape out that window? That's not legal. That's not legal. 5.7 square feet, the window has to be within 4 feet of the ground. So you're going to wake up to a fire and you want to climb out that when the fire's in front of the door? This is my favorite one. I'm not going to tell you where this is, but take a close look at that. That's in the advertising photo, and this is an Airbnb Plus home that's supposed to have already been inspected as the best. Anybody want to knock those two grill tanks over while they're grilling and then just explode? Dryer fires, huge. It's out there. It's in the spotlight. They're happening. But as we heard earlier, the OTAs, they're advertising venues. They're not involved with the compliance side of this. They're not taking the liability on it, and we understand why. It's up to the cities and towns to do that. And I'm not a lawyer, and some of the legal guys that are here might talk to you about this more later. But they're starting to become questioned now about whether a city or town's liable now for more of these accidents when they don't have regulations that are in place to enforce them, but others do. Out in Palm Springs, California, you can't rent your home with a swimming pool until you've had an electrician come in and check the entire wiring of the pool. Why? Because they had an electrician accident or electrical accident there where a kid was electrocuted. But that's the only special thing they have in their safety ordinance. They don't ask about smoke detectors or CO detectors. Airbnb says this is a great rental to stay at with your family. Anybody want to have their kids play on those stairs? So what needs to be checked? I'm just going to go over a couple of quick things, but this is the most important thing I want you to walk away with. Life safety. We've got to talk about bedroom egress. Windows have to be 5.7 square feet, at least 4 feet within the ground. Escape ladders or ladders that fold out from third-story windows. We need to make sure that gas plumbing is checked every year, not just when the house becomes a vacation rental. I was just in a rental where the gas line's underneath the sink and the renters have been throwing the pots and pans in there aggressively and just popped open the gas line. Nobody ever looked under there. Fire extinguishers are important. We all know that. Smoke detectors, 10 years. We need to have that written into our ordinances now, that your smoke detectors have to be replaced every 10 years. We need to talk about UL 2020. Anybody in here familiar with UL 2020? Nobody. The most significant change in smoke detectors since 1976. Smoke detectors that will be sold starting now have to be non-nuisance. They can't go off because of burning toast. And that's what happened with that fire in Topsail Beach. The renters the week before pulled the batteries out because they had burned toast. Who's checking those? What we need to do is make sure we're using technology and tools that are out there to get in there and do that. We have emergency safety cards that tell the renters what to do when there's an accident. And of course, we need to focus on spa and hot tub safety and pool safety, because pool drownings are right now the #1 cause of death in children under the age of 2, and there's way too many happening. There's a lot that we're going to get into next, but I don't have the time to go over it today. I've got resources for you, but these are all the items we're missing right now. Okay? Hot tubs. We've got to get the hot tubs away from the decks. We've got to put up safety barriers so people aren't falling out of them over the decks. So I've come up with a solution. My company's called DwellSafe, and the solution is really easy. Let us do the inspections using technology. Have your property manager, the owner, whatever, follow through our app. They just go out to the property, we can geotag, we know that they're there, and they complete the checklist that's required to make sure the home is safe. That way the city doesn't have to do it, the fire department who doesn't want to do it doesn't have to do it, and we just charge a small fee, and at the end of that, we certify their inspection that they've gone through, and it's a better step than anything out there right now. They get a sticker, city and town can see and have that registration online and show that that house has been inspected for the year, every year, at a minimum cost to the consumer, and that the guests can feel comfortable when they go looking to rent these homes, that these homes are safe. And I'll just close real quick. Everybody has, Matt didn't talk about it a lot earlier, but VRM Intel's in your bag. Awesome a magazine that's for the trade. This issue has an article on vacational danger zones that I wrote, and I would encourage you all to take a look at that.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Justin. Some of you are from vacation destinations. My friends from Plenty, sure.
Hi there. We talked a little bit earlier about having data, getting back to the safety. Obviously, statistics show that you're most likely to get injured in your own home. You spend the most amount of time there with the back of the deck. Do you have data on incidents related to transients, short-term rentals that are specific to the short-term rental industry, not just incidents at home in general?
Yeah, and so he's asking about statistics on vacational accidents, and that's really where the problem is. The insurance industry knows what they are. There are insurance carriers who've gotten out of the business of insuring vacation homes because of the amount of claims that are coming in. There's some great companies, and again, I hope Darren speaks to this with proper insurance a little bit later on, but there's not a lot of statistics out there because in a lot of cases, these aren't getting reported as they were in a rental. The family's child is injured falling down the stairs. They call the management company. Everything's kind of handled under the down low, so it's not in the media. And so we are only relying right now on information that some insurance companies are releasing. Some fire departments are releasing when they're reporting their calls. And mostly relying on media reports that are out there showing what that is to build the statistics. But that's the information that needs to come together so that cities and towns can make smart ordinances and understand what they need to focus on. For example, on the Washington coast, they're very concerned about tsunamis and earthquakes. So their ordinances are focused there, but they're not necessarily focused on maybe a deck collapse and the idea that they could have 30 people in their homes. And if they can have that data, that's certainly going to help improve things for everybody.